Last year saw many protests in Colombia that seemed to be unprecedented in size and scale. Despite legitimate peaceful protests, there was much concern that much of the unrest was fueled by those seeking to create chaos in Colombia, perhaps an external source that would benefit from upheaval in the country. Although the majority of the protests in the country were peaceful, some parts, mainly in Bogotá and Cali, the protests turned violent, which led to acts of vandalism, hundreds of people injured, and sadly, over 20 people dead. So why did this happen? All signs point to China, Russia, and other malignant actors which have long been active in promoting disinformation and propaganda in Latin America through their state-sponsored media channels. The most active of these are Russia Today, Telesur, Sputnik Mundo, and Sinwa Español. Twitter and Facebook are actively used in the social media sphere with links back to those websites. But during the recent Colombia protests last year, more than 7,000 troll accounts on social media were actively engaged in the protests, according to a data mining firm in Miami. These accounts were aimed at blocking and spamming any comments or posts critical of the protests, while amplifying specific narratives and hashtags, such as "They are killing us." Repeated use of other hashtags, among them SOS Colombia, were accompanied by spam campaigns against pro-government supporters. Upon further investigation, it was determined that these troll accounts were being managed by click farms in Bangladesh, Mexico, and Venezuela, with their servers possibly being run in Russia and China. Many of these troll accounts would post viral specific images and videos of the protests in Colombia, oftentimes taking those images out of context. And this wasn't the first instance of these troll farms. In 2019, these false accounts had already acted in Ecuador and Chile, inciting people on social networks and creating disinformation campaigns so that people believed that the police were killing civilians and acting brutally. While Chinese and Russian government disinformation operations are often similar with the end goal of portraying themselves as benevolent partners and alternatives to the United States throughout the region, there are key differences. Russia's strategy is focused on destabilization and the disruption of the social order and political stability at a national level. China, meanwhile, attempts to position itself as the new benevolent and dominant international trade partner in the current international system. They also draw on millions of citizens to monitor the internet and influence public opinion on a massive scale online. So, what can we do about it? The first step is knowing that the social media environment is becoming a hotbed of disinformation efforts, and know that malign actors are trying to change your way of life. What happened in Venezuela is the malign actor's goal for Colombia. The first step is knowing.